Now, as the 2027 general election in Nigeria approaches, there is one question that has remained pertinent and germane in the heart and mind of concerned citizens. And this is, when would Nigeria move from his perpetual occupants of a developing country to a developed country? When are we going to stop answering a third world country? When are we going to become a second world country? If we cannot attain the status of a first world country, when are we going to have a shift, a paradigm shift in terms of the developmental strides evident in all the nooks and crannies of this country? This is how I'm welcoming you to today's episode of Isthmus Daily Rendezvous. Why are we treating this topic today? Because everything rests, begins, and falls on leadership. Alright, leadership is a crucial, important element of every organized society, and that's why we are asking this pertinent question today. When will Nigeria move from being a third world country to a second world country if we cannot achieve the status of a first world country? Now, the quotation from Benny S. Siegel is what is going to guide our discussion this morning. And he said that if your regrets and recrimination just causes you continual grief, then they are of no value and will destroy you. We've always pointed our accusing fingers to this is the cause of our problem, that is the cause of our problem. But when are we going to start implementing solutions that will catalyze the change that we need in this country? Of course, when we get it right leadership-wise, when we have a purposeful, impactful leadership in place in this country, all these sufferings that we are going through as a third world country would cease to be in existence. And that is why we are citing the example from the example of Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore, all right, and then how United States transformed their social reality, and become the country with the most powerful country in the world today. So they didn't used to be occupied that pedestal before. It was formerly England or Britain that was the most powerful nation in the world. So why is it America now? What did they do? How can we replicate all the things that these two countries have done so that our country will move from the status of being a third world country? Now, what I'm saying is we don't want at point to blame anyone again. We don't want to blame any past leader for what has happened to us or where we are now. What we are saying on Isthmus TV today, how can we move it forward from where we are now without looking back? It's in the Bible. The wife of Lot looked back and became, a pillar of salt. So looking back will cause us more pain. Let's just forget about the past and build from where we are now. Who is going to bear the cat? Who is going to transform this nation and put it on that pedestal, reposition it to be on that scale, that position, that status that we all desire, where all the amenities and infrastructure and the conducive environment for businesses to thrive will be in place. That's what we're considering this very morning on Isthmus Daily Rendezvous. All right, my name is still Okafugochukwu Amos Msiligaliki, and I am happy that you are with me today. Now, most African countries are, war-torn. They are going through various degrees of social unrest and disturbances. Even if it's not directly, indirectly, there's always some level of war in all the countries of Africa, Nigeria inclusive. Even though we're not fighting, but the agitations that are going on are enough distraction for any leader to concentrate and implement his or her politics. Have you seen it? So that's what we're saying. When are we going to achieve social, serene social status where everyone will have rest of mind that our leader is doing the right thing. Because we don't have the conviction that the leaders that we have are doing right. That's why we have agitation and opposition and all that. So, what did Lee Kuan Yew do in Singapore that changed that society, that country, and made it a first world country? Just a single leader, a singleton. What happened? So, well, there are basic things that we have found out that he did that changed the fortunes of that nation. And those are the things that we are advising our leaders today to implement and replicate in our country today. First one is that he took a bold step of saying that his country will cease to be an import-based country, a country that imports virtually every good and service that is needed by the populace of that country. Even though it's a small country, yes, granted, but he said, no, let's make use of what we have to produce what we need. Is it possible for Nigeria to cease from exporting crude abroad, exporting all the mineral resources that we have abroad for them to be refined and then brought back to us? Is it possible? Now, a step has been taken by what is happening at Dangote refinery and other modular refineries that we have in this country. But is it enough? Can't federal government of Nigeria build enough refineries that will make what we produce to be sufficient for our consumption? It's still not sufficient. That's why we still have the deficit that we have in terms of petroleum. So that's why we're asking who is going to take the bold step like Lee Kuan Yew and do what is requisite in this country for everyone to heave a sigh of relief and say at the end, we have started getting it right. Virtually everything that we use in this country is important. Why is it that industries don't survive in this country? Look at it. The USAs and all the big tech countries, the textile industries and everything that we are in Nigeria in those days, they have all moved out. And when entrepreneurs, want to begin operation in Nigeria, various policies of government and we know degree of the host communities will chase them away. When are we going to? Who is even responsible? What is the place of law enforcement, agencies in this country in terms of maintaining law and order in communities where industries are situated aside? That's the question we're asking this one. For us to attain that exporting country status instead of an importing dependent nation, of course, we have to, take a bold decision by implementing policies that will encourage every, small, medium, and big industries to thrive. Obviously, for instance, I run an organization known as Isthmus Enterprises. Now, when I was in Abuja a few years back, I know what I suffered in order to get a business to survive in Abuja, but I didn't get one. Government offices, private sector, no one was able to, was willing to give us a business. Why? Because we don't know anyone. Not that there are no business to give to us, but we don't know anyone. We don't have any connection. So what are we saying? Even when I heard reliably that when you register a business in this country, a contract will be awarded to you, none was awarded to us. Have you seen it? That's what we're saying. We are killing ourselves. We don't allow or enable, small and medium industries to thrive or to even, raise their head in this country. So that's the first thing. So the second thing is the task issues, tax waivers and all those things that are given to businessmen from all over the world in countries that are hungry for the development of their countries. For instance, even when industries companies coming into this country, we chase them away with VAT and all those things, and the economy continues to suffer. When are we going to get it right by giving them, whatever it is, an enabling environment, a conducive environment for the business, new businesses to thrive. Someone has not started making profits and you are sending monthly requisition of, humongous amount of tax and value-added tax and other forms of tax that we charge in this country. That's one issue that we have to correct, and that is what Lee Kuan Yew did. I said, okay, if you're a big investor and you want, like my country, come in, no tax for you, just come and begin your business. When you survive, you begin to pay. But here, if you are not one of the members of the oligarchic group in this country, the people that run the show, you won't get anything. Have you seen it? That's the thing. So, even though the current administration has started tackling corruption in high places, and it's been reduced gradually, we do not used to hear of all those things that happened. Those are outrageous sums of money that was stolen in the past. The issue of the 200 billion, naira scam and all those scams that we used to hear. It has reduced barely to the barest level, thanks to the current administration. What we're saying is, pockets of corruption still happening in government agencies and ministries. When are we going to begin to place the interests of this nation above the interests of individuals who do not love the collective good of this nation? Now, Lee Kuan Yew didn't just institute himself. All of us as voters, what are we doing in preparation of the next election? Are we still going to allow the same thing to continue? Well, I'm not canvassing for any politician, but what I'm saying is we should vote. We should learn to vote according to our conscience. Nobody should vote according to money again in this country. Because if you continue in that direction, you are killing this nation and you are responsible for where we are. Okay, so infrastructural deficits continues year in, year out. The ones that are built are worn out. The ones that have not been attended to are even making the environment to be messier. I thought, that it's the climatic conditions that make European countries to be beautiful. No. Until I went to certain places in Abuja, I realized that if the environment is well constructed and taken care of, they will become like, what is obtainable in Europe and America. Look, go to Maitama, those places that are very, very, taking environments that have been very, very, taken care of. You see how beautiful those places are. But these places are not constantly. For instance, Imo, some of the places here are not tarred, the place is still yawning and begging for development and social amenities. That's why it looks like this place is a village or something. But if we transform our environment and localities, it will look like what is obtainable in America and Europe. That's it. That's what I found out. Maitama and the central businesses, all those the skyscrapers we have there, they were not there before. Abuja, in 1991, was a typical bush forest. But look at how it is now. What happened? Transformation. So it could happen. It could take place in various states in Nigeria if we take it seriously. That's what I'm saying this morning and advocating this morning. That infrastructure deficit is getting out of hand. There's no water. You have to generate your own water. You have to generate your own electricity. Please, government, come to our rescue. Please come to our rescue. All right. Okay. So look at the United States, for instance. Displacing the British people and occupying the leadership position of the whole world. How did it happen? That's the question we should ask now. During the time of First and Second World War, they played what is called the term I want to use for it now is the safety approach. They were not overtly, cantankerous and going after, fighting wars. No, they concentrated on their territorial integrity and defended it and said, let us be building our country while others, Britain is fighting. That is the major reason why they overtook Britain. Have you seen it? So, how long are we going to dissipate our resources and doing the wrong things? That's what the question we are asking this morning. Please, those in a position of power should please. This is from using our resources for the wrong things. Begin to use it for the things that matter. Okay, and finally for today, government should, create an environment that can allow businesses, small and upcoming businesses to thrive. When you are awarding this your contract, even if we bid, you help us to give us one or two so that we can concentrate and stay survive as business owners in this country. You people are not helping us, so it is not fair. Yeah? I'm lamenting on behalf of all the small and small growing businesses in Nigeria. Please, government, consider us when you are giving all your contracts. Even if it means pipe-borne water, give us, let us construct. We can do that one. Or even building a house for the government, whatever it is. Yeah? Okay, this is where we're going to be drawing the curtain today. My name is still MC Liki, and this is Isthmus TV. God bless you for staying tuned. Bye for now.